Lawyers of Reddit, has any client ever made you go, "How the fuck am I supposed to defend you?" And if so, how did it go?
I'm a criminal defense guy, so I have had plenty. Most infuriating one was a guy that got busted for selling rocks to a confidential informant. The C was wired for sound and video, so the whole transaction is crystal clear. Plus the cops ID'd his car as the one that drove up the scene, and he was stopped a couple of hours later with the buy money in his possession. Serial numbers were recorded. He had 3 prior convictions for cocaine sales. The prosecutor offered him 5, which was the mandatory minimum. He absolutely declined to even consider a plea, insisted on a jury trial, insisted on taking the stand and telling a ridiculous story about how it wasn't him in the video. There wasn't any doubt. I felt like Lionel Hutz trying to string together a closing argument with a straight face. He got 20 years. It took me until he had 3 prior convictions for cocaine sales to realize this person wasn't selling literal rocks. Damn, I'm dumb. I work in forensic psychiatry. One of the factors we consider when deciding if someone is ready to go back to court is the ability to take information and process it rationally. We normally do this by making up hypothetical plea deals to see if they can make a reasonable choice based on the hypothetical information from their lawyer. This guy would have failed that test. Now, being staunchly against taking a plea deal doesn't mean someone is incompetent and we will keep them longer, it's just one of the factors we consider. Edit, I read your story again. Another thing we tend to drive home to these guys is that they cannot be forced onto the stand as a defendant, and that's usually in their best interest. Wow, this is an insane level of idiocracy. At a deposition, it's the questioning lawyer's responsibility to ask the right questions to get the info he or she is after, and the lawyer has to be thorough and methodical. If they neglect to ask about something, that's their problem. Those defending the witness always tell the witness not to volunteer information and to just respond to the questioning lawyer's questions. Again, don't volunteer. I had a witness come in and we went through the whole preparation meeting where I gave her all the instructions and told her not to volunteer. Again, don't volunteer. I ask if she's reviewed anything to prepare. Nope, so that's good. You have to disclose things you've reviewed. We go through the deposition and she does fine. Questioning lawyer is done, he's packing up his stuff, the court reporter is packing up her stuff, and the lawyer is waking toward the door. Witness says, "Did you want to see this?" and pulls out a stack of books that no one had ever asked about, she hadn't told me about, and which contained stuff that the other side was able to use. Fucking dumbass. I was listening to an old radio episode of Dragnet the other day and they had a suspect who had his lawyer meet him at the police station and they couldn't get anything out of him. They picked him up again, same thing. Finally they set a trap for the guy by waking him up in the middle of the night and hustling him off to the police station before he could call his lawyer, and it still didn't work because the guy had someone watching his house to tip off his lawyer if he got taken in. And of course the whole thing was presented as a heroic effort by the cops rather than the extremely scumbag move it was. The best part is that the show was supposedly based on real cases and produced with the cooperation of the police department, so this must have been something they were happy with doing. Fucking LAPD, man. Lol, and the guy is too much of an idiot to refuse to speak without his lawyer present? If he's been dragged in twice, that lawyer would have told that to him like 100 times already. Cops aren't going to bring out the rubber hose if the lawyer is there.